Okay, if you have seen the 15 to 30,000 price point in India, one smartphone brand is silently selling quite a lot. Any guesses? Motorola. It is one of the few brands in the top 10 Indian smartphone list that has had a good positive growth in the last year. And you know, at TechWiser, we don't praise them blindly. We have had our fair share of expectations. When the H50 Fusion launched, we said that the phone was good, but Motorola needs to seriously work on updates and its consistency, which they did. And then came the H60 Fusion, where camera was good but performance was not up to the mark. And now we have the H70 Fusion, and performance is something that they have quite worked on. You get a LPDDR5X RAM, UFS 3.1 storage, Snapdragon 7S Gen 4 and a 7000 mAh battery. So did Motorola finally listen? And the question that has to be asked is this just on paper spec improvement or is there real refinement? And if your budget is around 25,000 rupees, should you consider the Motorola H70 Fusion? This is Prateek, you're already watching TechWiser. Let's go. And again, you get this classic Motorola eco-friendly box, and opening the box gives a very good fragrance here. They intentionally do it. And you get the phone, a 68 watt fast PD charger, a Type-C to Type-C cable, some paperwork, SIM ejector tool. Now before we get to the camera part, there are 4 interesting things about this Motorola H70 Fusion. Now, once the phone is out of the box, if you look at it, it fools you into being that same vegan leather bag, but once you touch it, it feels more like canvas or linen. If you compare it with previous generations, the camera sits on an island which has its own color. Like subtle design changes, and I do like this color here. This is Pantone Blue Surf color. It also comes in 2 other Pantone colors. Motorola, I always feel, has one of the most classiest design when it comes to budget and mid-range phones. Now, the moment you hold the phone in your hand, since the frame and edges are curved, you feel the phone is very thin and light. Also, considering this has a massive 7000 mAh battery, it only weighs like 193 grams. In fact, the H70 Fusion comes with a military grade certification, and on the front you get Corning Gorilla Glass 7i. You also get IP68 plus IP69 ratings, so from water splashes to heavy jets to even submerging in water, it can take all of that. And that brings us to the second highlight of this phone, the display. Now you get a 6.78 inch quad curved AMOLED display with very thin bezels. It has a 96.2% screen to body ratio. Also, the display here supports up to 144Hz refresh rate now, but normally the display runs at 120Hz. 144Hz is only for selected games. And again, in our content watching experience, the display was good. Like, I was watching Kohra season 2 on this, and you know, the contrast between darker scenes and the brighter areas, that came out pretty well. By the way, it supports HDR on YouTube. You don't get it on Netflix, which is again pretty common in this price range. Now, during my time outside, I was using a lot of Google Maps and directions, and I can see the display even through my sunglasses, so it gets pretty bright. Now again, the Barcelona weather is windy and not that sunny, but even in Delhi sun, I think this should fare pretty well. Now, more than the display, what I really enjoyed is the audio quality. Like, have a listen to the stereo speakers. Like, not only it is loud, but there is that thump to the bass. So when you watch movies, the sub bass and the dialogues feel punchy. Now, while the display and the speakers make it fun to watch content, the battery is a really good added bonus. The H70 Fusion comes with a massive 7000 mAh silicon carbon battery, which is a big jump from last year's 5500 mAh battery on the H60 Fusion. And you will not be disappointed by the battery life. Like, in our short usage of clicking photos at the Gothic quarters, even watching Netflix, playing games, it lasted easily more than a day on single charge. In fact, it will last 1.5 to 2 days if you have normal usage. Honestly, with recent smartphones and such a big battery, I have stopped carrying my power bank anywhere outside. In fact, the other day I was using the Motorola phone to charge the iPhone, which ran out of battery. So it's a 7000 mAh power bank. Now, talking about charging, it charges up pretty fast. The phone supports 68 watt fast charging, and you can top it up to 100% in 45 minutes. Surprisingly, Motorola is one of the few brands to give NFC even in the budget and mid-range segment, so you can use tap to pay on this phone. So overall, you get good battery life and fast charging, which makes the daily experience really good. Now, the fourth thing is performance. The processor here is a big upgrade from last year. You get now Snapdragon 7S Gen 4, and even the RAM and storage variants have been upgraded. You now get 8GB LPDDR5X RAM with UFS 3.1 storage. Now, in benchmarks, first we ran Antutu, and it scores somewhere around 11.35 lakhs, but this is Antutu version 11. So then we ran CPU throttling test, and you can see the graph here is all green, so there's no overheating as such, at least in benchmarks. And also while traveling, I was constantly switching between YouTube,
MWC, Uber app and Google Maps, and you can see it can handle that constant multitasking along with GPS and internet pretty well. Now in terms of gaming, I didn't get much time to game, but I did try BGMI for about 15 to 30 minutes, and it can run BGMI at smooth graphics at 120 FPS. This is what the average FPS is. So in our short usage of gaming and doing multitasking, I didn't notice any overheating as such. It also comes with a dedicated vapor cooling chamber to stop the overheating. Now considering the H60 Fusion from last year, the H70 Fusion has a considerable jump in terms of performance.
Now coming to the most juiciest part of the phone, cameras. So the Moto H70 Fusion comes with a dual camera setup, and this is the first phone to use Sony's new Litia 710 camera sensor with OIS. Now we took 100 plus photos in Barcelona. The photos from the main camera in good daylight conditions, the camera performs really well. In fact, these photos I took in low light conditions, have a look. It's really hard to tell if it's taken on a mid-range phone or a flagship. I like the color in this photo, and as for Motorola, they're taking help of Pantone to get these refined color in photos. Also look at this photo, it correctly exposes the lamp as I could see in real life, and if you see the screen recording, it processes and then fixes the overexposed area. Now all in all, the camera processing is very good, but having said that, 1 or 2 photos out of 10 photos, it gets either darker photos or increases the saturation of the photos. Oh, by the way, I clicked all of these photos in natural mode. There is also a Motorola signature style which uses AI to understand what kind of colors you like and customize the camera processing as per you. So you need to upload 5 photos of portrait and landscape, and it will create a personalized color for you. Like here's the difference side by side between natural and my signature AI style photo. Now in terms of videos, it can do 4K 30 FPS, and you can have an idea of the video quality. Also, it has the most hyped horizon lock stabilization. So see, in the mirror I'm trying to turn the phone around, but the footage stays stable. By the way, horizon lock here works only at 1080p. Now you get a 13 megapixel ultra wide angle camera which also acts as a macro camera. So in good daylighting conditions, the ultra wide angle photos come out good, but as the light decreases, the picture quality gets slightly soft. Now good thing is you can record 4K videos on all the 3 lenses, even on the front 32 megapixel selfie camera. So overall, if I see the price range of 25,000, this clicks really good photos. The photos come out poppy, social media ready, which you can directly upload to Instagram. And also I know there are only 2 cameras, but those 2 cameras do a very good job. Now, so far things seem right, but what about the software? So it comes with HelloUI based on Android 16, and you will notice an improvement in animations here. See, they're very subtle and smooth at different places. You also get so many customization options. So on the lock screen, you can choose between multiple clock styles, add widgets, etc. Also, HelloUI now has a lot of features. There's app lock, there's AI wallpapers, and much more. There's also Moto AI, which provides many practical features. One use case that I like the most is you get a lot of notifications, and most of them are marketing notifications. So instead of going through all the notifications, you can just tap on Update Me. It will summarize all the notifications, remove fluff, and tell you what's important for you. Also, whenever you have a rough thought or an idea, you can just open Notes app, record your thought, it will transcribe it into text and even generate a summary about it. Also, you can ask Moto AI to remember things like your flight number or your itinerary, and it does a pretty good job at that. Now, another useful feature is the app drawer. You can not only search within apps, but you can also do internet search over here. It uses Perplexity to give you answers, so you can even ask T20 live scores and you will get it right at the app drawer. Now, apart from all these software features, there's also a bit of bloatware. Now, I know a lot of people don't have a problem with that, and here's how you can uninstall it. Also, you get 3 years of Android updates now and 5 years of security upgrades. So now what's the conclusion? Has Motorola finally fixed the Fusion series? See, compared to the H60 Fusion, the H70 Fusion is launched at 26,999 with bank offers and discounts. The pricing starts at 24,999 and it is a 2,000 bump from last year. But at that 2,000 price jump, you get an upgraded performance UFS 3.1 storage, a massive 7,000 mAh battery. Like looking at smartphone pricing in 2026, I feel Motorola's price jump is quite legit, like other smartphone brands should learn. Price phones like Motorola. So if you're someone who needs an all-rounder phone and you're always outside on 5G and you need good battery life, you can consider this H70 Fusion. On that note, this is signing off. See you in the next video. Pew, pew, pew. Viva Barca. Viva Barca.